I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
Why are you stuck?
Gotta stand.
Oh, you forgot how to stand. Oh.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah,
baby
turn your
Jack.
audio off.
Hello, Kima. Yeah, better turn off your audio volume because you're going to be hearing yourself
Hello.
echoing.
Oh god, the sound of my own voice.
Yeah, my world's turning
Terrible.
on.
Yes, yes. All right, thank you so much for all of you who showed up for this i.W.A.I.T. Thank you so much, baby Jack, Kima, for joining me.
Thanks for
So for those of you who have not been part of i.W.A.I.T before, this is the part where I get to interview these two very amazing, wonderful DJs. So, DJs, I'll just ask a question, then I'll just point to whoever I want to answer. If you want to pass, you can. You have to come up with some answers anyways.
Damn, son.
Dang.
But,
I got it.
Yep. So, who, let's see. How long have you been DJing for? Let's go with the order of events. Kima, you're first.
So I actually started out when I was 14. That was when I was first taught. I'm gonna be 35 this year, so I've been pretty much playing for 20 years.
More than half your life. Woo! How about you, baby? Or Jack, or baby Jack? How long have you been DJing for?
I've been DJing for about 1.5 years. I would say sparingly for the first half year. I actually started learning on the VR software Tribe VR. And then as of March 21st, 2021, that's when I officially started DJing more often.
Perfect. Awesome. So, when you started off DJing, what equipment did you start off DJing with? Let's go with baby Jack.
So, I actually didn't have any controllers, so using Tribe, they actually simulated the Pioneer CDJ 1000s, so I got to experience something that would be used in a club, but purely from a simulation aspect.
That's nice.
These days, I now actually use a DJI 400, so for anybody out there who wants to know if they can definitely use a starter controller, go for this one. It's great.
Yes, that's exactly the control that I have. What did you start off with? Because you've been DJing for 14 years. 14 years ago, there wasn't a DJI 400 or 200.
So,
Was it vinyl?
no. We did have CDs back then. It wasn't quite MP3s yet, but now the ones that I really started off on, like, were CDJ 100s. I think there was also a Denon setup that I had too. That was my father's equipment. I just don't remember what model that is.
Denon. I heard Denon's actually starting to give Pioneer a run for their money.
I wouldn't know.
But what are you currently using now?
Currently I use a Tractor Control S2 Mark III, and I want to get the S4 so bad.
You want the 4 decks.
I want the 4 decks.
Yeah.
Layering. Let's go.
He wants the decks.
All the decks. I mean, the S8 looks pretty cool too, because that's straight up like sampling and layering. It's crazy.
The S8 looks so great.
I'm lost as far as that one, but whatever. What genres do you love to DJ? Because we DJ today drum and bass because I want to do a drum and bass night, but what other genres have you DJ'd? Let's go with Kima.
Well, obviously drum and bass. I do various different forms of house and techno, or house and trance. I do love playing techno. I kind of branch out into just about everything. Like I've done rhythm. I'm trying to get into breakbeat a little bit, like UK breaks. But I've been all over the place in music. Like I've played country, not mixing it, but you know.
Nice.
Chances are, if you've heard it, I've played it.
Nice. How about you? What sets of music have you played, baby? Yeah.
So, for the most part, I'm primarily a DMV producer and DJ, but where I generally like to break out, if I do, is mostly progressive ambient and electro house.
Ooh.
Some progressive house as well. On my D&B side, I love going even harder on the bass. I do like liquid as well as Rasta and jungle. So I like to kind of keep it tightly within the umbrellas of D&B and house, but that's generally where I like to fly around.
That's it. And like, what advice would you give to like new GD starting out with? Like, you know, who want to know like what is step one? Like, you know, get a music library, DJ what you want to DJ. Start.
You push this button right here.
I guess general advice for anything, you learn anything, because one thing about being a DJ is that you start with a controller, but it's kind of a multi-art pursuit, and you learn how to learn, and learn also how to get started. You can watch any tutorial, but as long as you are just watching the tutorial, and you're not actually following along, or actually not committing any action to it, you're not going to learn anything. So, first things first, get to it.
Yep. I agree with that because like my first really foray is talking to my friends who are DJs, you know, Valiant Nova Light and Fennec or Defcon. But also like watching like YouTube videos of like how to DJ. Like DJ Carlodito is a pretty decent YouTube DJ.
Yeah,
That's some really good.
I've actually learned a lot of tutorials and transitions from them. They're fantastic DJ.
Apparently they're like world ranked like third or something, like one of the DJ championships. So, like they definitely know what they're doing.
For certain.
How about you, Kima? Like what advice would you give a new DJ?
My advice is probably really simple. Play what you want, play on what you want, play how you want, and don't be afraid to experiment. You know, you're not gonna learn without making some mistakes. So make all of them.
I made plenty of mistakes. Even he was like, "You fucked up." I'm like, "Yes, yes, I did."
Make all of them. Yes, we DJ for other DJs. We play music for everyone else.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like Bob Ross says, you know, there's no mistakes, only happy little accidents.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So make all of them. Twist every knob, push every button.
And like some of your effects that you were using, Jack, like I thought the stream was like fucking like, oh crap, the stream's going down. With some of your like, what was it, like loop cuts or like rapid fire loops, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love doing my cuts. That's kind of something that makes me really happy, especially with D&B.
Like honestly, like with D&B is like, what advice would you give to a DJ who like wants to learn drum and bass? He was like, you can always tell him like play one track to the other, or like do what I did, and I just had like, fuck it, let's just layer two at the same time and just make sure that the bass lines don't conflict too much.
Advice for playing drum and bass. Start with F major and F minor.
Is it that 4? Is that 4A and 4B if you're going by the number scale?
Actually, let me look real quick. I could probably pull up what that actually is.
He's like, isn't there a joke like 9M?
9M.
9M. So that'd be 9 minus?
It's just 9M. At least in tractors, it's 9M. It just comes up as F.
Nice.
It comes up as FM in tractor.
Huh. Like,
but like on Beatport, it's just F. F min, F mage.
That must be like 7A, because there's like a joke where like 99% of all drum and bass is in the same key and the same BPM.
A lot of the common drum and bass is like
7. It's
9M.
7. Yeah, like 9A or 9B. Yep. Any like advice or tips that you'd give to somebody learning to DJ drum and bass, or looking to intro?
From my side?
Yeah.
I guess in my, you could probably just do Camelot for keys and stuff like that, but if anybody's wanting to know how to keep D&B interesting,
Mhm.
I think people just really need to go deeper on the grave digging and stuff like that. There's been over, I mean, D&B stems from the old breaks of like 1960s all the way to current, and I feel like
Ooh.
some people are kind of just still kind of digging out of the previous 10 years. I actually grew up on like weird 90s UK D&B, like from like 1998. It's like really dig deep in there.
Oh my god.
I feel like I think we're really inspired by like the current age of techno and stuff like that, but we can really like inspire more modern styles in D&B. Just really like dig hard and get really experimental, you know. I want to see that more from
Neurofunk.
DJs.
Neurofunk.
Okay, Neurofunk DJs, especially some of the ones who can play Liquid D&B and Neurofunk here in VR chat, really impress the hell out of me. Like there's some people who are currently pushing envelopes. Let's have more envelope pushing. I want to see people really dig deep in those crates.
This person here.
Yes.
Listen, I've played Liquid like twice, but I always end up mixing it to Neurofunk now. It starts with like the light.
Brunch, they'll play Liquid again and again. Liquid Orange Juice.
I don't play Liquid for Sunday brunch. I play freaking melodic house and techno.
That's the works.
That's actually a fairly good leeway to the next question. If people would love to hear more about like what music you play or whatnot, or your sets, where will they find you if they want to follow you on Twitch, Twitter, Mixcloud, YouTube, Pornhub? What will they put in?
Yes, I only mix on Pornhub now. Let's go.
The live stream.
You go first. It's your turn.
All right, BabyJack.
Jeez, I wonder how much I could get on Pornhub. No.
Plug your shit. Plug your shit.
You don't worry about copyrights on
Pornhub.
Pornhub.
Right now, 1 second. My baby made a chatterbait and said, "Oops, wrong answer." Anyway, I would say definitely check out my Mixcloud. For the SoundCloud and Twitch, it's BabyJack, so just adding a U to the end of my name. And then definitely check me out on Twitter if you guys want to know where my latest events are happening. I post on there quite often. I'm also very fast at replying, so please, I'm a very friendly person. Feel free to reach out. And then lastly, if you guys get a chance, also hit me up on Discord. We have a great Discord community where we have our upcoming events, and we're supporting other communities there as well.
Nice. Kima, yourself? Where can they find you?
I actually do have a link tree, if everybody knows how all that works, and that is just Kima the Fox. That's also cross-linked with my Twitter, which is also Kima the Fox. Twitch is Kima the Fox. Mixcloud is Kima the Fox.
Makes it a lot easier.
Super easy to find.
Nice. And I'll be putting all those links in the description. So if you're interested in what set was played tonight, I'll put the links down to the description to their Mixclouds, and also any other socials that they would like me to post into the YouTube video. So here's another kind of odd question I always love to hear the answer from. If you were to send a message back in time to yourself when starting off DJing, it has to be DJ related. You can't say like go buy Apple stock when it was really cheap. But it's more of like, what advice would you give yourself as a beginning DJ? And I'll give you some time to think about that one, because this one usually throws off a lot of the DJs.
I actually have really good advice for myself.
Here, you go first.
Really?
You go first. I want to hear that.
You go first.
Don't let them tell you wow, brain. Don't let them say no to you when you go to buy that new equipment. Do not let them say no to you. Fucking buy it anyway, even if you have to go somewhere else.
Wait.
I never should have fucking stopped because of that. That is the entire reason why I stopped.
That's a story and a half. Do you want to hold off your answer until it says a story? I think that is a yes. Let's see. What's the story behind this?
Alright, so when I turned 18, I was in the fucking heat of it. Like, I was actually DJing regularly for 2 clubs near me. And the entire reason why I stopped is because the CDJ 100s that I was playing on were getting to just be too old to stay up with the current technology, because we were shifting over to MP3s. the company that was closest to me for buying equipment, because my father had a reputation in there, and because they knew I was his son, they kept trying to basically say, no, don't buy this because there's going to be something new coming out, and they kept doing that for months, almost to a year, and it stunted me so hard that I gave up.
Oof.
I should have, I was just naive at the time. I should have just went somewhere else, because they just did not want to make a sale to me because of it.
Oof.
It was like this respecting me to the point of over-respecting me. It was so fucking annoying.
Like, take my money, shut the fuck up.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I had thousands of fucking dollars at the time. I was ready to buy the best that was out at the time. I forget, I think those were like CDJ 800s, I think. No, it could have been like 600s. It was whatever like first ones that they had MP3 freaking stick things you could plug into it. I really wanted them.
Nice.
And they were just like, no, we got another thing coming out. Like, I was just like, dude, come on. I need new equipment. But I just got so frustrated and I quit.
Though, that's an interesting question. So you just started DJing on CDs. Like, was there such a thing as a beat grid or beat sync or anything like that?
Nope. We had, so I did have a Pioneer DJM mixer. I forget what model it was, and it did have a little tap button on it. And by tapping that to the beat of the
you had tap
song,
tempo.
Yup. That's how you'd get your BPM. And
So
you can do that. You can do that by queuing in with the other deck too, like, you know, because you'd have that one slid all the way down for volume and just queued over to your headphones. You could tap that too, and then adjust. Like, so you really had to be like in the heat of everything. It was crazy back then. It was so fucking hard. The software makes it so easy these days.
Yep. All right. How about yourself? What do you send back?
What would I send back? I probably specifically if I send it back to the time when I was mixing around with like Mixcraft and making my own like individual like ambient albums. This is it. Like the fact that you want to make a band is just a sign that you were wanting to rely on others because you were scared to try this on your own. Don't be afraid. This is it. This is it right here. You'll learn a lesson from it.
Now.
At some point, you'll come back to this and you'll realize that you totally shouldn't have come away from that. And that's all I'll say to my younger self is like, you figured it out at one point. You walked away at the worst time. But I'm here now. That's all I'll say. But like, that's all I do. I do want to send back.
Good.
You know.
Like, for me, I honestly would send back, like, you're doing fine, don't be discouraged, and don't listen to haters. People who try to tear you down without trying to build you up,
seriously.
fuck them. And that's actually good advice in general. Like, if you have somebody trying to rip you down, you know, as a person or for anything, and not offer any options of how to improve or how to fix it, get rid of them. Fuck them. Ignore them.
Yeah, find the people that push you to be better than you are right now forever, you know?
Like,
cut the bad shit out.
Yeah. Find the people.
Always be around supportive people.
Exactly. Find the people who are willing to tell you, like, dude, that transition, you fucked up, but this is how you can fix it.
Man, I don't even tell people they fucked up. I'm just like, oh, that's a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Just say no. No.
I don't know. I've had people give me some harsh honesty that definitely helped me improve quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, you ain't
But
gotta
I
grind
feel that
people
too.
the freaking dirt over little mistakes. Trust
Yeah,
me.
yeah, but you can also tell
you know when you fuck up.
Yeah, you can tell them, like, oh, I noticed that. I noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you.
Like, were you trying to mix out a key?
Hey, keys are just guidelines. You know what you're doing. You don't need keys.
Except I actually did mix out a key because for some reason it kept going to like F minor versus a G minor, like no F sharp minor, and I was like,
yo, the first time I played techno here in VR chat, I was just like, I'm playing in a key? What? I just kept freaking... I just adjusted, like, everything on the EQ to make it work. Just like, let's go, come on.
That's,
This will totally work.
It's a
Filter
great
can
set.
totally make things
It's a
sound
great
easy.
set.
yeah. And that's one thing I think about, like, us
Yeah.
DJs. So, like, you gotta, if you're mixing live, you gotta learn to, like, oh, well, that's a mistake. Let's fix it real quick, and hopefully nobody notices. The people who are really, listening to it, to critique, like DJs, will definitely notice it. But, an average person out in the audience, just there to enjoy the show, probably not gonna notice.
Yeah, just like, oh, my beat skipped a little bit.
Yeah. Or like when you accidentally end up hitting stop on the wrong deck. If you're streaming, if you're streaming, you just like you freeze. You should freeze a little bit, and then just slowly tap the button again.
Just immediately backspin and press play again.
No. Like you hit the button like, and then you're like, oh crap, that's the wrong one, and then you just freeze, and then you hit the button again. That way, everybody thinks that your Twitch stream skipped.
Just freeze.
Yeah.
Just stop
kidding.
completely. Like,
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, like as far as like DJing is for me, it's very fun. Just a way of exploring music. Like I never knew of drum and bass, bounce. Like when I first started DJing, I got understood. Actually, that's it's the first time I ever heard drum and bass was during Virality Luma. And that's actually what it.
Nice.
That's actually what ended up inspiring. Well, it's actually Virality. Oh, Virality Luma is the name of it, but it's the Virality Online Experience, Numa, for the full name. But yeah, that's the first time I ever heard drum and bass. That's the first time I've ever heard of actually DJing was back when I was, ignorant. To me, drum and bass, or just DJing in general, is that one loudmouth on the radio saying, "Up next, we have another song from the Rolling Stones."
oh God, yeah, that's not exactly. No. Radio DJs are fun and all, but
They're just a Spotify list with an attitude.
a little bit more than that. They just have a license to basically put a track on.
Yes. That's one thing that sucks about us being
Not really.
DJs. We can't monetize our damn shit. It's like a miracle when you upload a set to YouTube and it's copyright, but not blocked.
We're in that gray area of like, hey, can we get a little bit of
Money? And
we want to keep doing this. You want us to give you money to play your music, but you don't want us to play your music and make money to play it.
Yes. But that's why a lot of DJs nowadays
Yeah, that
go,
works.
Patreon, they go tips and bits and all that good stuff on Twitch. Like, if you honestly love hearing your DJs, and they're DJing and they're really good, if they're affiliate, send them a few, coins. Help them build their track library.
Listen, we VR DJs, we do this for free for the goodness of your love. Get out there and dance.
Yes.
Do it.
Do
Send
it
it-
for community first.
Yeah, send it for your heart, man. Send it, DJ for yourself. Like, hell, like most of the time when you're DJing or streaming and whatnot, you're going to be streaming for like one person.
I mean,
How do
hypothetically,
we do
even
this
if you
again?
did want to make money from this whole scene, you're nothing without your listeners and without your people. So it's really all about community first. You are never gonna. There's so many people that are like, oh man, I DJ, but I don't make a single piece of cash. I'm like, your community is going to need you more than anything first. You're never going to reach a single dollar until you can establish a home and a family here in this place. So definitely make that your number one focus, if anything else. Maybe the cash will reach you if you do commissions. But
Yep.
other than that, that is never your focus as a DJ.
Yep. And that is
We wouldn't do a
definitely...
damn thing if we did it for money.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Absolutely.
Do it for fun.
Yep. Do it for fun.
Do it for friends.
And
Do it for the vibes, yo.
yeah, do it for the vibes, do it for friends. And then if money does come, just look at it like, oh, hey, it's a bonus. Yeah.
Pretty
Now go
much.
buy more plugins and go make more songs immediately with that money. That's how money comes in. It immediately goes back to making more DJ stuff.
Money comes in, money goes out. Money
Yeah.
comes in, money goes out.
Yeah, like
Money
how.
comes out.
Yeah, hell, like the first time that I actually hit affiliate and then got my first payout, it was like the $120. The $120 went immediately
Listen,
back to buy tracks.
These things aren't cheap. These things are not cheap.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. And then there's the crate diving. So do you use SoundCloud Pro and then SoundCloud Go and then Beatport and then maybe and then Record Box and then I'll do. Do you also do design work? Do you do Illustrator? Do you do Photoshop? That's nice. Oh wait, do you also have a commercial license for those visuals? Do you use this? Do you use that? It's money. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's wherever it goes in, you gotta put it back into your art because that's what makes your community happy for you. They're like, whoa, your visuals, your music's impressed. It goes back to them, you know.
Yep.
That's if you ever had that focus.
Yeah, like if you're DJing, DJ for yourself, DJ for your friends, DJ for the group. If you just DJ for the money, it's not gonna work out. I bet you if you
I
talk
just
to
want
the
people to hear my style of DMB.
yeah, well, like I bet you if you talk to like the big DJs like Lost Lands and all the other events, they're probably about the same thing. Like hey, they're there for the fans. The money's just a
Yes,
nice
absolutely.
thing added to it.
The money pays
Ma,
to
I'm
do
really
it
high up off
more.
the
That's what
ground.
it does.
Yeah.
The money literally just helps pay to do it more.
Exactly. It's like oh yeah, like well we just made enough money for the next show. The next show. There we go.
Hey, gas is expensive these days.
Yeah, like imagine like the amount of power some of those massive events pulled down.
Oh my god.
That's the nice thing about VR shows is that I don't gotta drive anywhere. I just gotta put on a headset and I could just play a show.
Yes.
Take that gas.
Yep.
That's why I'm so happy that I got into this. Like, if you'd asked me like 2 years ago, hey, do you see yourself DJing again? I'd be like, nah. But like the moment that I'm like, oh wait a minute, I can get a digital deck and DJ in VR and like literally do all these cool freaking venues. I immediately picked it up. 2 years ago, I would have immediately picked it up.
That was the coolest thought. Yeah. The coolest realization when you step into the first club and you're like, is somebody actually doing that live? And someone's like, yeah. And then you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because that's the thing. This now is my 3rd year of VR, and it's my first of DJing in VR chat. So.
Hey.
Nice.
Here we go. Woo.
But,
I'm on my
that's
6
why
months.
I love getting to apply the hobby, the talent into
Nice.
here is so much more fun.
Yeah.
It is way more enjoyable than just like the drama and all the crap that you gotta deal with lugging equipment around to go to real life clubs and stuff. Like
All the road cases you're leading behind you. Ugh.
oh my god, it's like
Road
it's an
cases.
experience and a half to DJ in a real club, but like literally you come in
Yeah.
here, it's so much less setup. Honestly, less preparation, and you can play wherever the hell you want for like anybody. That's the coolest thing. You're
You
not
get to
limited
play
to
in
like,
clubs that
oh,
you
it's
can
just
never
it's this
see in real
local.
life.
You're not playing at any local scene or anything. You're playing to anybody in the world who decides to get in here. That's what's
Isn't that
so
so
cool about
cool to
it.
think about, though? It's super awesome.
Yeah.
That brings me a lot of joy that I can meet people that I've never
Would
met in my
ever
entire
have
life.
a chance. Yeah, to meet.
I mean, one of my best friends here in DJ is from Brazil, and honestly, like I would never meet them like outside of like my own city because they're on a separate side of the world. But it's honestly like the best thing to always be in a lineup with them and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
To meet
there's
people from
like,
Japan.
Yeah, like
people from Japan are fucking
I'm from New
psycho
York. I get to
DJs.
meet people from Japan.
yes. Or like
Fucking cool.
yeah, or
I
from
love
like
this social experience.
yeah, like the social experience
Sorry.
of no, the social. You're definitely good. Both exactly. The social experience of VR is just so amazing and DJing so much. It's like a lot of my really really good friends, that got me into DJing. I got met on VR chat, and like there's a few clubs that I'm part of. I'm board. It's Tuesday. You got Resumo or is it Rezumi? Launchpad.
Resume.
Resumo. You got DDVR, Cannon Cove. A lot of amazing, events out there that you can join. And there's like bigger ones out there like Shelter and Underground that I have yet to be, but still. And then you have like even growing events like mine here, i.W.A.I.T. But then you got like Placeholder Club, you got Vibe Night, Hex Furry Fest.
So much. Like, God, I think I'm tagged as a DJ in over 20 clubs right now. It's ridiculous. And that's just after one freaking year.
Yeah, like
it's definitely been a crazy year in VR, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what 2022 brings more to this whole entire scene. Because things are moving really fast, but it's depressing the hell out of me.
Yeah, like things are like definitely moving really fast. Like without COVID, I don't think virtual clubs would have been as or be able to establish as quickly.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately, that's the snafu of it all. But I mean,
yeah, but the cool thing is even with COVID over, or at least we don't care about it enough anymore to do lockdowns. You still have those virtual events going on. Like some of them may not have the amount of people in the audience as had in the past, but it's still here. It's still a thing. Even I think PBS earlier had a small segment about the virtual clubs. There's more from the e-boy scene.
That turned out to be a pretty big that documentary piece that they did for Subculture recently. That ended up being a pretty big thing, especially here in VR chat. That shined a huge light on our scene.
Shout out to Beat Syndicate, by the way, for Subculture.
That was a huge documentary for us, honestly. I think I'd still making waves right now.
Yep.
And they did a great job making that too.
The coverage on the culture and the scene here, and definitely the right kind of representation that I want people to know about. Like, this is really like exactly what you get when you come into VR chat. Like, it's we try to be as inviting to everybody.
Yep.
We're like, honestly, we're all here together to have a good time. So definitely, if you've never been to a VR club, you can get on desktop and just come in here and try it out. This is honestly a really great experience, and everybody should try it out.
Yeah, like VR chat doesn't cost a damn thing. It's go to Steam VR chat, download.
This is free. Come in here.
That's the fun about it, is that you definitely can come in here and desktop and still have fun. Like, obviously you're gonna be able to do more with a headset. You get to really experience. You get the hands, you get the head. You don't need the full body.
Yeah, so VR chat's like the only game that it's free to start off with, but it's pay to win.
It's got the most expensive DLCs.
Oh my gosh, VR chat pay to win.
Pay to win hardcore.
Yes. He who has the most
$1,000 headset, $400 for full body. Let's go.
No, I have a few friends that have the Pimax, so that's like a $2,000 headset.
Oh my gosh, having an 8K screen strapped to your face.
Even still with a halfway decent computer and a Quest, you just link that to your PC, and you can still get in here with full capabilities. The Quest 2 does have standalone, and there's some clubs that support it, but you'll definitely get the more full experience if you got a good gaming PC to plug that thing into.
Yeah, if you're Quest standalone, you'll probably be seeing a lot of robots. And wondering why you're seeing a lot of robots. Which reminds me, eventually I should make this. Alright, so any other things you want to add before we end up wrapping up this wonderful event?
Okay, no cheers.
I guess that's yours first.
I want to say thank you so much for having me. I hope that everybody else gets a chance to definitely check out this stream. And I hope you guys line up for some future events, because this was a lot of fun. And thank you very much for inviting me and Kima. I think we had a lot of fun, right, Kima?
Yeah. This is pretty cool.
Alright,
if I have one thing to say, definitely, again, thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
A blast. And for everybody else, keep dancing.
At least not now. You gotta get some sleep now, but keep dancing when there's the music.
No, keep dancing. Just you can't stop. You gotta keep dancing.
And then as far as for next week we have DJ i.W.A.I.T coming on. We have DJ Volp, also known, or his VR chat name is i.W.A.I.T. And then of course myself. If you like house top 40s, tune in. I'm going to be bringing out some big rooms, some electro house to go along with it. You know, the good old 4 on the floor. And then also, I plan on running this event every...
Oh, wrong one. Damn.
Nice. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time for 3 hours, and then the interview at the end after the third hour. Except for Virality Weekend and Furry Week Atlanta Weekend. All right. Well, thank you again so much, both of you, for agreeing to indulge me and putting up with my lackluster communication skills on Discord.
No worries. I'm so happy that we got to do this event in the end. So thank you very much for having us.
You're very welcome. All right. And